Hello, class, and welcome back. This is Chapter 10, Section 2, and these are going to be representations of three-dimensional figures. So remember, I abbreviate that with the 3D. So this one's going to be a little bit shorter, and if you're currently in an art class, then you've seen or done these things in the past. So we do have some vocabulary to talk about, and I'll go through each of these words. So if you want to go ahead and pause and write it down, and then start back, and I will be talking about them. Okay, welcome back, and hopefully you have them written down. Our three types of representations are going to be orthographic drawings, isometric drawings, and then we're even going to do a little perspective drawings. So orthographic drawings you've seen in the past. This is your 6 views of an object where you have the top, the back, the front, the left, and all of those things. And it's usually drawings of little cubes. That's kind of where you start out. And they have you do things like count the cubes and describe which of these is the best orthographic view. Isometric is probably my least favorite. Isometric shows 3 sides of a figure from the corner. I like to see it once it's drawn, but it's not my favorite to draw. So if you've ever seen dot paper that looks like this, it's kind of offset and has little triangles, that's the drawings that are on this type of paper. It's even called isometric dot paper. And then the last style is perspective. And this is that non-vertical parallel lines that meet so that when it's drawn, you'll have a vanishing point. So a vanishing point is where on the horizon it would disappear. And we see this in art and advertising, and it's really easy if you kind of go out in a road and you look down the road and it kind of disappears way off in the horizon, then that's considered the vanishing point. And vanishing point's also located on the horizon. So I'm going to show you a couple of drawings and examples of these 3 types. And then you can draw the best you can. I didn't give you anything in class. Some of you are really good at this, so I may even have you come up and do it for me. All right. So the first kind we're going to talk about is this orthographic. So if you need to zoom in, zoom in. I'm going to try to zoom it in some. And I'm even going to move to the left-hand side, so I have lots of room. So oops, don't want to show you the answer yet. We're going to talk about orthographic. So orthographic is any time they give you the pictures of the little cubes and they ask you to identify which of these is the top or the left, things of that nature. So in order to practice, then you may just have to draw your own pictures. So I want you to pause and take a minute and draw me the 6 orthographic views of this shape. And notice I will count the cubes for you. It's kind of hard. I have 1 cube way in the back, a cube right here in the front, and then on this side there's 2 cubes stacked up. So I have a total of 4 cubes in this picture. And you want to challenge yourself? Go ahead and try this one. There's a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cubes in this picture. So go ahead and push pause and see if you can sketch out your 6 orthographic views. All right, and welcome back. And here should be kind of a sketch of what your cubes look like. I know Miss got cheated. I printed mine offline. They're not my favorite. But you'll notice solid lines and dotted lines. So solid lines do mean that they are touching, and dotted lines mean that they are not touching. So maybe they're off. Oh, I'm lying. I have that backwards. I'm sorry. Dotted lines mean they're touching, so they're on the same level. So these two are these 2 right here. And then a solid line means that this one's going to be raised higher than the one it's next to, or even lower. It just means they're not in line with each other. They're not level. So notice the difference between a dotted line and a solid line. You can see it really good on this one over here. The dotted lines, these are all these guys right here. And then the solid lines, these guys are on different levels than even these next to it. All right. The next time I want you to try is we should have given you a little piece of isometric dot paper. And I want you to draw the isometric view of these two shapes. So this one with the 4 cubes, this one with the 6 cubes, isometric. And this one takes a little bit of practice, and I'll even try it with you, so we'll kind of start it together. So I always pick a point. So if you want to start on this corner or you want to start on this corner, remember it is coming from a corner, and then you're kind of looking, it's kind of awkward to describe. So I'm going to pick this corner right here. And I'm just going to start on my paper. So this dot is going to be this corner. Now I know that I'm going out in this direction, 1 block. And then I'm going to be 2 blocks tall. So here's my wall this side. Now I have the top of these 2 blocks. And I'm coming down right here. Now I need this block. And there it is. And now, since I picked this corner, notice I kind of have a hidden block happening. That hidden block is going to be behind here. And you can even do isometric drawings where they do the dotted lines, and I used a pen. I should have used a pencil. And you can see the blocks that are being hid behind each other. To try to help me with mine, I like to highlight the top. I missed that. The tops, and here's my tops. So maybe picking the right corner was a bad idea. I should have picked the left corner. So if I had picked the left corner, this is the picture you would have seen. Again, highlighting the tops and highlighting my tops in the top. Kind of interesting, 2 different sides. So the left side versus the right side. What kind of pictures you come up with? So I want you to push pause and go ahead and attempt the second one. This one's kind of interesting, and see what you come up with, whether you went from the left side or the front or the right side. Okay, and welcome back. And again, Ms. Scott did a little cheating, and I've tried it. I've done it before, but it's not my fave. So this is the book's rendition. They're coming from the front here. I still like to highlight my tops. So here's the top. And that's just because sometimes the blocks look a little silly. They don't look like blocks anymore to me. And there we go. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tops. And then I remember I did say there are 6 blocks because there's this one under here, and I can't see the top of it. All right, and then the third type of drawings we're going to do is perspective drawings. So perspective drawings are kind of interesting in that they have different kinds of vanishing points. So this one that's going to ask us, we have an example of. It says draw the block letter T with 1 vanishing perspective. So I'm going to try it out first with a triangle and kind of give you an idea of what's going on. So first you always need a horizon. Hopefully you're using your straight edge. So here's my horizon. And I am going to use a straight edge and draw myself a triangle. And it can be any kind of triangle. It doesn't have to be equilateral or isosceles. It can even be scalene. So here's my figure. And then I'm going to pick a place to vanish on. So I'm going to vanish to here. All right, with my pencil, I am going to connect all my vertices to that vanishing point. So that's why triangle's easy. Only 3 vertices. And you're going to practice with the letter T also. Okay, so there we go. Now what it says is a non-vertical but parallel. So now I can connect and have a second triangle anywhere in these 3 lines. So remember, this is my top vertice, that's my left vertice, and here's my right vertice. And when I've drawn it, I almost have a prism type shape going on. So if I wanted to color this in, here's my solid shape. And when you're in art, you will erase all these other vanishing lines. The other type you can have is a 2-point vanishing. So if I had 2 points, That's more coming head on at the shape, and you can add some more dimension to it. So I've seen this in art and lighting shows, and they start flashing the lights and bringing it up towards you. Okay. Here should have been my. There we go. A little bit nicer. So it asks you to do the letter T, and you can do it with any block lettering. So if you try it with the letter T, I'm going to draw my block letter. Be any size, get a little creative, and I want you to try your own vanishing point. I can't wait to see what you come to class with, so I'm looking forward to it. Alright, so that's it for section 2, and I hope you enjoyed the notes, and I can't wait to see how creative you get with your vanishing points and your isometric drawings. So I will see you tomorrow.